Man, my desk is disaster. I complain about this every week, but the problem is I've been working in the living room. So anytime I come out here to do recordings and stuff, I realize, oh, I just threw that box on my desk. I threw that on my desk. Now I got to clear out room for my desk. It's horrible. It's horrible. Just say it. That's why we don't live stream our shows.
Man, so my desk is crap. I've been in and out of here. I've been counting change and rolling up coins and doing all of that stuff today. So my desk is like, I'm very carefully not moving my MacBook because there's a plastic bag behind it that has rings and label papers in them that I was sticking labels on to label bank bags. Also had to swap places with the MacBook Air to put it on top of the Windows computer because I was also using that Windows connected Braille labeler to make labels.
Okay, that makes sense. How are you liking Windows, or is that literally the only thing you're doing in Windows?
So that's the only thing I do with the Windows laptop.
Okay.
I have set up another virtual machine, but I haven't had time to go into it and kind of tinker with it. And I think I'm going to actually need to probably do an IRA RIM connection to configure the machine the way it probably needs to be configured in Parallels.
That's what I should do. I need to get RIM installed on the Mac because right now I have RIM installed on Windows, which is really weird to open Windows to use RIM to remotely control someone else's Windows machine. But I will tell you what. The cool thing about it is I can Command Tab out of Parallels, which takes me out of RIM, and RIM is smart enough. Thank you, Matt, for I don't know what you did, but some reason I can Command Tab out of RIM in Parallels, do things on the Mac while my client is working in her Windows machine, and I can still hear what's going on, and then just jump over there when I need to. Not that I've ever had to do that, but there's been a few times where I'm like, let me look that up real quick, and it's faster for me to look something up on the Mac than it is to open a new tab on her computer and look something up. So,
yeah, that makes sense. Well, it also makes sense why you would hear it though, because you're not disconnecting the session. You're just.
And I'm not even going through the process of minimizing the session.
Right.
I can just Command Tab, or what I more often do is write Option S, and then all of a sudden I'm in Safari doing a quick lookup, and then I can Command Tab back over to Parallels. And then a lot of times she doesn't even know that I looked something up because she's just still doing what she needs to do. And I'm looking details up like, all right, where do we go to change this setting? And what do we do to fix this and stuff? So it's a weird, but good experience. I should install Parallels I should install RIM on the Mac and do what you were talking about, going with IRA and say, hey, let's go poke at some of these settings. Because I bet there's a lot of settings in Parallels that if I just had someone reading those settings to me, I'd be like, oh, let's try doing that and see what that experience is like.
Yeah. So they have a couple of machines up. It is a much more straightforward process to let Parallels download Windows for you than grabbing an ISO and bringing it in. And I think even during that process, there's been a little weirdness with VOCR, at least for me, where it's reading stuff that it shouldn't be reading if it's focused on the specific window that I'm in. But anyway, so stuff hasn't been well read, but I feel like even when I imported the ISO file, it still would have done the automatic setup for me. I opted to like, no, I'm going to do it manually. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. One thing is you have to go through so many settings that I didn't know anything about when it comes to setting up Windows, because Parallels just drops you in. You have a local account set up and everything is good. It would not let me get that machine, or that Windows installation set up without signing into a Microsoft account, which I didn't care for. There's no way for me to bypass that in this instance. And there's something else. There's a lot of steps, like a whole lot of steps that you have to go through to fresh install Windows, basically, which is the equivalent of what I was doing when Parallels just is like, oh, okay, we're installing it. Okay, we did this thing. Okay, now you're ready. And then you just, bring up narrator. I don't remember what the keystroke is for narrator, but I know it with my fingers. Oh, did I lose your mic?
No.
I think I lost my, oh, okay. It's like super quiet.
No, I'm distracted by looking at VOCR settings because I'm like, I wonder if Damashe has this setting enabled. checkmark auto scan, and then I realized, oh, there's a lot more settings, but that auto scan is pretty cool. Have you played with that?
I have I turned that on? No, I have not turned that on.
So when you VOCR window with Control Shift Command W, and then you click on something, it will automatically OCR the next screen that comes up for you.
Oh, I need to turn that on.
Yeah, it is cool. Like, that is probably my favorite newer feature. And then I got distracted because there's all these settings here, and like engine, I need to go in there because I can feed it my own API key, and then you can go into set system prompt, and you can give it a different prompt. Right now, it says a chat between a curious user and an artificial intelligence assistant. The assistant can give helpful, detailed, and polite answers to the user's questions. So I bet we could modify that prompt to possibly give it even more details. I'm curious how playing with that prompt could alter, but I'm also afraid I'll break it. So I'll copy that prompt and just in case what I say doesn't work. But I wonder if you could say, you're going to receive screenshots, only provide me information about the active window or something like that, like disregard other things. So
I'm going to play with that a little bit because there's a lot of more because I just updated like a few days ago, I think, when I was telling you about something different with VOCR, and I was like, I just updated because there wasn't an update. I didn't think about it. It's kind of like OSAR, like you install OSAR and you don't think about an update until, at least I don't, until the next time I'm installing Reaper.
I wish I did.
Whatever
Every
the
time
latest
I freaking
version
open Reaper, it's like, do you want to update OSAR? No, I do not want to update OSAR right now. I need to edit some audio.
I wasn't on that version for a while though, where it was doing the auto updates. So I wasn't seeing that. I have seen that since reinstalling Reaper a few months ago. But yeah, for a long time, I was on a version of OSAR that did not have automatic updates. So it was not prompting me at all. I would get updates for Reaper.
Yeah. I never get update prompts for SWS. Never.
Me either.
Yeah. Quick side note, if you are listening to this on the day that it comes out, Monday the 20th, you'll want to go listen to Kelly and Co. from Accessible Media Incorporated, because I will be talking about Reaper for about 15 minutes with one of their engineers as well. So we're going to sit down and chat about Reaper and how I'm using it from a podcast producing point of view.
Yeah. One of us really should start working with GPT, or I wonder if Copilot knows about Rescript. What is it called anyway? Is it Rescript? I feel like that's not right.
No, that's right. It is.
Okay. Oh, I was about to open Reaper and look.
It is. My problem with that is I don't know what it is that I want to automate in Reaper.
See, I'm more curious what the possibilities of automation are, though. Like, it's kind of like, I know some of what you can do, but like, is it possible to, I'm thinking about, there was this theme. I don't really think that's what Reaper calls them, but there's this theme or this configuration that was floating around for a while. And the one problem with it is that everything on the page was in German. So I never installed it because I was like, I'm not really sure exactly what they're going to do to my Reaper. But it was supposed to change the interface visually, but it also moved some controls or removed some things to make it more podcast editing focused. Or spoken word editing focus, as opposed to, being the tool that it is, which I think originally is much like Logic is, was meant for you to edit music. So I'm curious if there's anything that could be done there to say, like, okay, let's strip out some of this stuff or configure it in such a way and strip out unnecessary settings or automatically set and lock specific settings that, from a musical standpoint, you probably want to be able to control, the, I don't know anything about
tempo or something like
that. Yeah, that type of stuff.
Typically mess with tempo with podcasts.
Yeah, you don't really want to mess with that at all. So that's why I say one of us should at some point engage in a conversation with one of these large language models to see what's possible. I've started telling GPT a lot to explain to me, or what did I say today when I was looking at security logs? I was like, educate me about this disk detainer lock or whatever it's called. I was like, so I've never heard of this. I was like, so educate me about this disk detainer lock. Pretty good explanation. Probably gonna go with those as replacement. I have not done any research into the expense of said locks, but the main company that does create those type of locks on the high security end does have a patent for their locking and key stuff through 2021, which means it should be at least more difficult to duplicate the key. Now we're saying possible. Question for you, Olama, to take us into a different direction. Is it OLAMA?
Yeah, I uninstalled that yesterday. Oh.
So the reason I asked is because I was going I just did brew search Olama and a formula Olama. I was going to see if that was the right one. So, well, now I really want to know. Like, listeners probably are curious what Olama is if they don't know. But I just want to know why you uninstalled it.
I uninstalled it because I wanted to reinstall it eventually to get like a clean start of it. And I wanted to test Hazel's app sweep because apparently I hadn't enabled that and I needed another app to lead off my computer. So I'm like,
so it's an actual app?
Yeah. So you install it with, so what Olama is it's a way to run local language models on your computer. Primarily, I used it with the terminal. So I would type Olama, OLLAMA space run space and then llama 3, LLAMA in the number 3 and hit enter. That gives you 3 greater than signs and says you can type /help or /exit to get help or exit the prompt. But really, it's just a interface where you can just chat with the AI and everything's done locally. The issue that I ran into that really wasn't an issue, but it wasn't super slow. I remember trying it on a MacBook Air with 8 gigs of RAM and M2 processor, and that kind of crawled. I think with 16 gigs of RAM or anything more than 8 gigs, you should be okay. But you do want to explore what's available for installing on Olama. But it also has an app that you can install, well, that installs when you set it up, that I believe will give you a graphical interface for manipulating the data models. I don't know if it'll let you chat with the data there or not. I did not play with that, but it does put an app in your applications called Olama. And quick note, by default, it will add Olama on startup. So you can disable that if you want. But if it's disabled, then it's not available when you go type it into terminal. And it puts Olama in the menu bar. Not quite sure why I would need it from the menu bar, but I heard about Olama through the VOCR team.
Wait, is it one L or 2 L's?
OLLAMA. And that made me want to go look at it. Apparently, it will do image descriptions as well. I don't have as much experience with that. Previous guest on the show, Taylor, is using it on one of the Macs that she has access to. And she kind of pushed me down exploring that a little bit as well. But that is Olama. Did you know you can tell ChatGPT that I do not want you to use the word game changer?
Okay, great. Okay, there's a lot of Olama.
I have a lot of memories in here that I'm like, do I need that? Does GPT need to be aware of that anymore? I'm glad that I can just navigate this table vertically with, and then if I, one of these memories prefers to avoid the word instrumental, but you can view a right arrow from the table that says, is using AI and podcasting real talk with Sean Priest for the episode title of Technically Working 92. I don't need that anymore. So I press VO right arrow and I hit forget. And then it prompts me and says, are you sure you want me to forget this? Because I won't remember it, which is typically the case when you forget stuff. And now I have forgotten that memory. And you can also clear all of your memories, which I've thought about doing. But then
you have to start over. It wouldn't know anything.
Prefers concise language and terms, and avoiding terms like versatile was my very first memory that I had. I think I might have cleared all my memories because these are newer memories. Have you cleared out your memories before?
I have not.
Huh. Apparently
I
my
wonder if
wife
yours
brought home
got
salmon
cleared.
fillets one day.
I wonder if they got cleared when your subscription got canceled.
I don't think so, because when my subscription got canceled, it kept telling me my memory is full. My memory is full. So I bet I cleared it because it kept telling me my memory is full. Huh. This is creepy how much information it has on me. I mean, I just casually chat with it and it remembers some stuff. Like, it knows who my insurance provider is. That's awkward.
See, I don't think it has any of that kind of information on me.
Marty was featured on the Applevis Apple Crunch podcast in December of 2024. Here's a link to it. Huh. Michael demoed Ira at Walmart in the Double Tap episode. And then it gives a link to that Double Tap episode. This is actually kind of interesting, because I bet if I go over here and I say, and I ask it, by the way, Shift Escape is my favorite keystroke on chat.com. And I ask it, what episode did I talk about Ira and Walmart on for Double Tap ? And now it's doing its little magic, and it says, you talked about Walmart and Ira on the episode titled Ira at Walmart, Driverless Bus Service, and Be My Porridge. And then it gives me a link to it as well. Huh. That's valuable. Shift Escape moves your focus. Anytime that you get your focus stuck on the web page, Shift Escape will put you in the edit box.
Ah.
And then Command Shift C will copy the last response to your clipboard. Good response. So what's new with you?
Llama. I have no idea what any of this stuff means.
Yeah, me neither. Just play with it. Break your computer. Prepare to reformat. What's the keystroke to add a new event to Fantastical Anywhere? There is one, right?
Like from anywhere in the system?
Yeah, like someone sent me a message and said, hey, we're doing this on the 27th. Does that work for your calendar? And I knew it did, so I wanted to add it, and I couldn't remember that keystroke.
I forget what the default keystroke is, but I use Command Option Space, and it brings up the mini window, and then I just type in my event.
Okay.
But you have to go in settings and configure your shortcut.
Gotcha. Oh, tomorrow's the end of the pay period reminder. And I think I'm going to be out of town on Tuesday. I have a tentative event on my calendar all day Tuesday. Should probably find out if I need a ride there. I've been playing with GPT tasks a little bit. I've not listened to the episode of Connected that I think you have, so I'm not sure if you have any insights or want to share some of what you heard about Federico in tasks. It looks like it has good potential, but I'm learning that it may not be the most reliable or be able to do the most complicated things.
I don't think it's going to replace a task manager at all. It is getting closer to, and if there were a way, which I should investigate with IFTTT's integration, to use the GPT interface for parsing what I mean, or parsing the text out, and sending that to Todoist, for example, would be awesome. There's a device that I think they talked about it at CES. It's called BEE AI. Listening to some podcast, Windows Weekly, I think. And Leo was briefly talking about it, but now I don't necessarily want this because, like he said, he has no idea where that data is going to. I was like, yeah, so we're not doing it that way. But essentially what this does is it sort of, I don't know what type of actual physical device it is, but to me, it sounds a lot like what Humane was trying to create in a way where there's something that's always listening to you. And it will make tasks or reminders lists out of the things that it hears. So, you're having a conversation and Mallory's like, hey, don't forget to, send me your W-2 or whatever. It would just grab that and make a bulleted item, I guess, or whatever, a reminder for you that says, send your W-2 to Mallory. I don't know what happens with the rest of the conversation, but where I'm going with this is like, if Apple would get their crap together, or if Google would do something, I would be more inclined to have one of those companies behind the thing that could just listen kind of as I'm going around, because there's a lot of times you say stuff out loud, but you don't write it down. You don't put it in your task manager. You don't make a note. You're just talking out loud. And it's something that you really should capture and remember. But it usually happens while you're busy doing another thing. Like you're washing dishes and you're like, oh, I know how to solve this problem. I should do X, Y, and Z. It's like, yeah, but nobody's going to hear you say that. So 2 hours later, you have no idea that you even came up with a solution for this problem, let alone what it was. So GPT could sort of replace that because I think it would be better at parsing meaning out of text to figure out what should be a task versus, say, setting the action button on a 15 to or 16 to create a new item and to do it. I think there would still be some taps necessary at that point. I don't want to have to touch my screen. Like a lot of times I don't even have my phone at hand. It's either in my pocket or it's somewhere in the vicinity where, Bluetooth still works.
So there was an episode, and I'm browsing through the horrible interface. The plot note pen. Have you heard of this?
No.
The plot note pen. It was talked about on Jonathan Mosen /NFB's Access On podcast. And what this is you can wear it, and it's PLAUD. I believe is how you spell that. I will go verify here real quick. Note pin. And this you put on your shirt or something. Yeah, it's PLAUD. And you can cause it to do quick recordings. And then when it's done, it will store those recordings in the app. But it will also let you ask questions about the recordings, and have it generate action plans for you to take based on the recording. So Jonathan used it while he was working with some people to get all of his stuff together to move from New Zealand to the US, which is admittedly kind of a big task. Like there's a lot that I imagine goes into that. And so he had a recording of like an hour-long meeting with someone, and it broke down all the to-dos and stuff like that. And it sounds like you can just reach up, hit a button, record something, hit a button again, stop recording, and then take action on it. And that's one of those. It's also $150. The app has some challenges, but the app is accessible. So, But you said this one was like BAI or something?
Yeah, BEE.ai. I'm going to go see if this.
BEE.ai is not it.
Okay.
Because I tried looking at that. But I'll look to see if I can find it while we are talking.
BAI? What if it's just a little B?
Yep, here it is. It's B.computer. Yeah, BEE.computer. It is
wearable AI that understands you.
Your new personal AI. Your new wearable personal AI. How much is it? Is it really only $50?
Well, there's got to be a subscription.
There's got to be.
Oh, wait, no. I didn't want the privacy policy. I was looking for pricing.
I mean, the privacy policy is important too, but...
Yeah, but not as much.
The wearable AI that understands you. Order now. Add to cart.
It was a wristband?
B is a personal AI that transforms your conversations, tasks, places, and reminders into summaries, personal insights, and reminders.
Oh, mute and unmute.
What?
Okay. There has a mute and unmute.
B learns and grows with you.
Oh, the B Pioneer Edition. Okay. Oh, $49.99. Okay.
That's... I might order one for the show. Didn't you order something for the show recently? Oh.
Oh, no, did I?
You ordered those glasses.
Oh, man, look, I ain't heard nothing about these freaking glasses since. So, like, we're happy holidays and we're still working on stuff. It's like, yeah, so I know how these Kickstarter people feel now. Where the hell are my glasses?
Right? What's going on with this?
Oh, man. So, do you remember when Microsoft first made the announcement about the Copilot Plus PCs?
Yes.
Okay. And Qualcomm, I don't know how to say that company, was the maker of the chips for these computers, right? They were going to be the ones making the computers. All right, cool. Or at least for a short period of time. Well, there was supposed to be a desktop. I don't know if you heard about this desktop. There was supposed to be a desktop. that they were going to put out as well. That was going to be Copilot plus certified or whatever. Like, oh, cool, a ARM, based Windows 11 desktop. Like, oh, this could be a different kind of home server. And if it doesn't work, then, screw it, I'll put Linux on it. So I put my name early on the list to get notified when they were up for pre-order and yada, yada, right? Well, a little time rolls around and cooler heads prevail. And I'm like, yeah, so I'm not really trying to even figure out where to come up with $800 to pay for this.
Yeah.
So when I got the email, I didn't put in a pre-order. Now they were going to, as I assume, put a hold on your credit card. Like, just check your card, make sure it works, and they would charge you for it when it ships. Standard stuff, right? Cool. But I didn't do it. I really should have done it because something happened and they could not get FCC, I think, approval. So the people who pre-ordered, they either refunded their money if they had paid, and they still shipped out like 200 of the computers is what I've heard.
Huh.
But you didn't have to pay for it because they apparently couldn't sell it. Now, I was like, man, that would have been nice if I would have, but see, would have been my luck. I'd have did it. And they're like, yeah, so we need to charge your car for $899. So I'm like, oh crap, what happened to my buddy? What am I going to do with this stupid Windows computer? I don't even like Windows like that. But yeah, I did pre-order or whatever it was, the Echo frames. Those are somewhere.
Yeah, we don't know where.
I assume. At some point I'll catch up on non-essential email and maybe find out what's happening.
Man, you want to know what I was so confused. I've been looking at this and I was getting ready to transfer some money and just go order one of these things just so I can report on it, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm looking at the webpage because I'm like, I want to learn a little bit more because that's a bit, I got to know a little bit about what I'm getting. And then I hit add to cart at the bottom. I'm like, well, that's weird. I added it to the cart and now it's $99. I don't understand. So I go back up to the top and hit add to cart and it's now $149. I'm like, it's adding them to cart.
To your cart. You're now buying 3 of them.
Yes. Yes. Oh, much better. $49.
So is it just $49 and there's not like a subscription or something?
I'm not seeing anything about a subscription. That's why I'm going to do a little bit more research, but I will let people know next week if I order it.
7 days of battery life? Like this could be a thing. I think we should just buy it. Wait, is there a return policy? Hold on.
Make it so cheap, be like, can't return it, but you know what? We sold 4,000 of them.
Yeah, all to this one guy because he really had the cart. It's like, wait, what is going on with this price?
Is he giving them away to people or something? Like,
so it only works with iOS.
There's a contact button.
Yeah,
there's the iOS app.
It's beautiful.
Huh. Oh no, man! I need to.
So is this a new product, but you still have Twitter as the link? Like,
that is funny. Okay.
I'm a little concerned.
So my thought when I saw that was, is it too judgy of me to say, I don't know what to think about people still having Twitter on their website and not X? Because that was what I thought when I saw it. Because I was reading through the page. I'm like, I wonder. Do you remember, was it Windows Weekly or did Leo talk about it a lot or just a little bit?
He talked about it just a little bit. I think he said he was going to talk more about it on This Week in Google, but I haven't gotten to that episode.
That's not going to be their name anymore.
Yeah, it's not. But I'm not going to remember that it's not going to be their name anymore. Yeah. What is their new name? It is...
Okay, so you wear this on your wrist, it looks like.
Yeah, or you can clip it to your clothing.
Yeah, it has a modular design.
Yeah, that's because you can take it off the wristband and clip it to your clothes. They got me with that too for us. I was like, oh, this is all never mind. So going back to this whole Twitter thing though, while you're looking at that, so again, I don't know enough about the company to know how long they've been around. Either they got a ton of VC money to be able to afford to pay for BEE dot computer, because even though it's a dot computer, I'm pretty sure it wasn't cheap, or they've been around for a very long time and this is their first product or this is their latest product. But what's weird to me about it is not that they have Twitter there, is that my expectation is that they're a newer company. They've come into existence, or this website came into existence since Elon purchased Twitter and changed the name to X. So I feel like if you're a new site and you're linking to X, the social networking platform formerly known as Twitter, you should use X. Use what it's actually called now. For an
Right.
older site, which I've seen this in some places, yeah, they probably ain't really thinking about their footer all that much, and they put Twitter up there 7 years ago when they decided they needed to start being on social media. Now, what was really weird is the places that still had Google Plus on their pages, like
Yes.
10 years after Google killed it. It's like, so that one you should take away.
So apparently I have to add an extra one to my cart and then reduce it because I'm not seeing an actual go to cart page. But I'm ordering this right now. So we will check in and let you know what happens with it. So it's $56.89 because you got to pay for shipping. Ship to Michael. But how does they already have my address? I mean, it is AI.
Link.
That's probably what it is. It is Link. But at first I'm like, what the hell?
So here's the difference between me and Mike right there. Like, Mike's like, how the hell do they have my address? Oh, well, never mind. They got it right. So I guess I'll. And me, I'm like, what the? Hold on. Close the page.
Right.
Go research. But the only reason I thought about it is I knew you had set up Link, and I recently set up Link for Spiral's checkouts, so I didn't have to fill in my information all the time. And I'm seeing a lot of Stripe and a lot of Link, so
I like Link. I know it frustrates certain users. At least I've heard some frustration from a couple of users, but I really like Link. You enter your number or your email address, and it's like, oh, do you want to use this card and ship to this address? I'm like, sure, why not?
So it doesn't look like this is a sale. Have you already purchased it?
No. What were you saying?
Oh, no, it's like it doesn't look like it's a sale. I'm trying to figure out where the subscription model is. Because, well, I guess it's a device that's connected to your phone.
Right, maybe it's running AI on the phone.
Wait, do you have to have the app open the whole time?
Ooh, that would kill it for me. Maybe I should wait to order this.
How do you make a new chat? Control O. Nope. Command O? No. Why is it not making a new chat? There's a shortcut. New chat. All right.
Tell you what, I'm going to actually, before I do anything, because they almost have my money, just saying, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab my phone, which I meant to plug in when we record. I always do that. I'm like, oh, I'll go sit down and plug my phone in so it's all charged and ready to go. But I'm going to go, and this is how we test things. I'm going to paste in the URL to their app, and we're going to hit go. And it says, open this page in App Store. And I'm going to open it up in App Store right now.
And see if the app is accessible.
Yep. See if at least the initial screen is.
The initial, yeah.
Because if it's not.
Yeah, but if it is, it might actually be worth buying. Because here's the thing, as I think about this. So ChatGPT knows crap. I should go ask Perplexity. I hadn't asked them anything in a long time. But it occurs to me, just like the Meta Ray-Bans, it can communicate stuff on its own or operate on its own and then sync back to your phone. But the app doesn't have to be running in order for it to be useful. That is weird. I type PER and it's like, yeah, Perplexity AI.
It says meet your new personal AI. So at least the sign-in screen is accessible. And the only option they have is to sign in with Apple.
And you're going to tie it to my Apple ID. Oh, they're trying to get bought by Apple. Huh, you know what? I want to.
Let me hit sign in with Apple. I want hide my email, continue. This screen is a little clunky in some instances. Whoa, wait a minute. Set up Be Pioneer, full featured Pioneer experience, or try with Apple Watch.
Oh, I don't even know where my Apple Watch is.
I'm going to hit try with Apple Watch. You may use your Apple Watch if you do not have a Bee. Next. And I haven't told you this. Confirm language. I'm sorry, I got a text message.
Oh,
I haven't told you
okay.
this, but I am now using an Ultra 1. Wow. Which means Mallory got the Ultra 2. What permissions do you want? What do you want? Health. Screw it. You can have all my data. Oh, B would like to access the microphone. That makes sense. We'll allow. I don't think you need my photo library. Actually, I don't really care because I don't have any. So we'll give you full access to my photos.
Okay, so I should, shit.
What?
Not just with the perplexity asked it. Not only did it tell me, no, the app does not need to be open all the time. It handles all of this AI, whatever it's doing on the device itself, preserving your battery. The problem is like this answer looks really good because it is current and it has links to several people's articles that were at CES that used it.
So we're not allowed to record anymore, but I've ordered one and I set it up with my watch. So thank you for tip jar subscribers. We have reached. So they use Shopify, which is also another reason why they have my information. Shopify is everywhere, just saying. So I will follow up and let you guys know my thoughts on this. Order was completed with
Android Authority.
I don't want to continue shopping, but I am curious how this is going to play out. I don't even know what I just ordered, man. Just saying.
Now, see, at least I got an excuse because I don't know where my watch is. It's lost.
Yeah, see, I just got through the setup screen, saw that the app was like
set it up on your watch
accessible.
and actually see if it's usable at all before you even bought the thing. But no, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. And it's Shopify, so I have some protection. If it never shows up, I'll get my money back.
I mean, it'll show up. Pretty sure. Leo got his, and you'll get yours. I'm gonna get mine because I'm gonna order one too.
Okay, we'll see how it goes.
I gotta stop buying crap, man. I got this stupid Flow Pro, whatever it is. it's the 360. I'm like, well, I need to go sell this on eBay because I'm not using it.
I'm perusing what all's on my desk, and I'm like, really? Did I need another thing that's just going to sit out here?
Well, but see, you may actually use this. Like the reason I'm going to buy it is because like it's a wearable. It lasts for 7 days, so I don't have to remember to charge it like every single day. And legitimately, I'm probably going to have it muted most of the time.
Yep.
Like if I'm out around other people, I'm going to have it muted.
Yep.
Or take it off. But again, those random times where I have an idea, but I don't have the ability for whatever reason, or not a very simple way to capture all of the information that I'm spewing somewhere reasonable, right? I mean, telling it ChatGPT doesn't help at all. So train their model. Dictation on the iPhone runs out after a while. And a lot of time, and my AirPods don't pick up well. Should take this earbud out of my ear too. That's probably why I can't hear you great on that side. Because there's an earbud in my ear.
Yeah, I'm having buyer's remorse because I got to buy a plane ticket for CSUN. Oh. I'm not usually worried about it. I got Southwest money. So,
I mean, you can take
Speaking of CSUN, if you are listening and you're going to be at CSUN, send us an email and Damashe will tell me because I still don't have email set up on the computer and maybe we can connect. I don't think Damashe is going to be there.
When is CSUN?
March 10th through the 14th. Yeah, it's coming up. But, you could fly over for a day. Oh. But if you're going to be at CSUN listening to the show, let us know so we can see if we can we'll get connected. If you take the time to reach out and email us and say, yes, I'll be at CSUN, I will figure out how to connect with you. So
that seems
Steven and Sean will be there too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. We'll see if I can finesse a way out there. Maybe. So I have been encountering the weirdest WordPress thing. And I think I'm just going to have to scrub the database and start over. Well, not really start the site over from scratch because I can't do that. The whole purpose of what I'm trying to do is restore a site from a backup. But I'm going to have to spend a little extra time on this. So here's the problem. I pulled the site back up out of Wasabi. And I was going to restore the site. I got it working locally. I added the site to a server and imported it using WP Migrate DB. And for me, well, at least I solved one half of the problem. For me, the site was loading correctly from the computer. Now, Mike will recall several years ago where I had a site working. And I was like, oh, everything works fine. Like you go to the website and it's good. And then people will go to the website and I'm like, no, it doesn't work. Like I clicked this link and it's broken. Huh? Oh crap. It was still pointing to the test domain when you clicked on any links other than the main website. Okay. So ran into one of those issues for a second. I didn't realize it because I obviously didn't test because I'm terrible. I'm awful. Forgot everything I ever learned. It's like, oh, make sure you go test it like the right way. It's like, oh, I went there and it worked and it loaded and I clicked links and they worked. All right, good. Everything's great. I'm going to bed. But hold on, I'm gonna send you this right quick. Guess I just happened to land on a share button. Wait, where's the share? I don't, oh, well, that's not helpful. All right, Perplexity. Screw you. You almost got money out of me, but never mind. I'm paying for GPT. So now what is happening is the site's not loading at all externally on the internet. It still works internally, but it's showing the correct URL in the address bar. But it's only loading on the Mac.
That's weird.
If I try it from my phone on or off the Wi-Fi, it doesn't load. The person who the site belongs to hasn't been able to get it to load. So I have no idea what the hell I've done.
What does that ping to?
If I ping it, it comes back. Like I've done all, like the server's up. I pinged the server.
So it's when you ping it, it's given the server's IP address and not a local IP address?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know, man. That's a strange one.
So I am really kind of stumped. And I feel like
ChatGPT.
I have not asked ChatGPT because I don't really know how to phrase the question.
Right.
It's like this website works locally on my computer, but it doesn't. I mean, it works from my laptop, but it does not work on any other device on or off my network. I even tried it on a hotspot and like it worked. It's like, I'm confused. Well, given this situation, maybe you should try blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, I did all that. Don't. But the thing is, like, I feel very strongly that I know what the problem is. I just don't see it. Like, I don't see the answer, but I know what the answer is. If that makes sense. That makes no sense.
You can connect B to your calendar so it can add events to your calendar. You can connect it to Gmail so it can send them emails for you.
Wait, you can do what now?
You can connect B to your calendar to add events to your calendar for you.
Okay. Did you say email? You can send email?
Helps B improve.
Wait, where are you reading this?
In the app.
Oh, okay.
It says help B
this is on their page.
Summaries, improve information, and suggest emails to send. That's interesting. I don't know if I want to give you email access right now. You haven't earned that trust yet, but I'll give you calendar access. I'll give you calendar access. Well, Google Calendar. Continue. So anyways, now I have a thing to distract myself with. So we will follow up with that in the next, well, I don't know when I'll get it. So we'll see. I paid for shipping, so that means I'll get it soon, right?
I really shouldn't buy this.
You shouldn't. Let me take one for the team. Oh.
Ooh, Apple Pay.
That'll get you every time, right?
Okay, I'm going to close that.
Did you order it?
No, I didn't order it. Partially because my Apple Pay is not working on the computer for some reason.
I almost said, can I connect this to the Blind Shell Classic 3? Then I realized, nope, it's iPhone only.
Have you done anything with the Pixel?
No, not enough to talk about. I set it up, and that was it. But maybe the Pixel will be my primary driver for a day. In my head, I started to say a month, and then I said a week at first. I'm like, a week, and then like a day.
I So the Pixel 5 I have is running Graphene OS. Like I'm really kind of sort of liking it. And the only reason I haven't switched it to be my main phone at this point is
iMessages and Soundscape or
I'm
Voice
not
Vista.
I use Soundscape or Voice Vista that much. I think I don't know how to use those. Because I
Just
tried
you
Voice
should
Vista.
download Voice Vista. Maybe
I did.
you down. So did you open it and follow the directions? Because it walks you through setting it up.
I mean, I didn't really read the directions.
So with Voice Vista, what's really nice about it is, especially if you have the Meta Ray Bans, you just open it and then it tells you what you're coming up on, and you can set beacons on different items. So let's say you have a machine specifically that maybe you can't navigate to in some instances easily. You could set a beacon on that machine when you get to that machine and say machine 3, and then when you get in the area, you can put a marker on that, and it'll keep playing where machine 3 is in space. So if it's ahead of you to your right, it'll play it ahead of you to your right. And with the Ray Bans, that makes it a great experience because you're just wearing sunglasses and getting this audio feedback. It also tells you why I like it is because when we move to a new area, I want to get out and walk more. And I have been, but I'm not as familiar with the streets around me. So when I'm walking down a road, it'll say Virginia continues ahead, Fenwick to the left. Well, it says Fenwick to the left, Virginia continues ahead, Fenwick to the right. And so I know that Fenwick is a street that crosses Virginia, and I can easily determine that. And it's playing that in my left ear or my right ear.
The bike's telling everybody where it is.
Yeah. Not the name of the street. So, I mean, I've been more careful about that lately. My old house, I tell everyone where I lived.
He hangs out in Virginia and Fenwick. Yeah, we're going to find that guy.
maybe you'll have to come look and find me there.
I don't really, I mean, I probably read like whatever I needed to do, but I don't think I read like a bunch of instructions. I did not try them with the Meta Ray Bans, but here's a mistake that I can probably say that I made initially with Voice Vista is I wasn't walking. I was trying to set markers. Is that the right terminology? Marker?
Yeah.
For a building, right? But we were driving around a campus, and so I was like, "Oh, here's that building right here." So I'm going to put this marker here, and it, in most cases, not every single one, but in a couple of cases, it had the actual name of the building showing there. I was like, "Oh, okay." But when I got ready to try to navigate back to those on a different day in a vehicle with Voice Vista, it was not working as well as I was hoping.
So here's how I recommend playing with it. Delete it from your phone and then re-download it, because that'll cause the data to reset so you can go in and get the first run experience. And then go stand at your front door and set a marker there. And then just have it in the background and go for a walk. And then when you come home, because you know where your home is, locate the marker of your home and see how that experience is. And then you'll be able to easily determine how it is you should use it in a live environment.
That makes a lot of sense, and I should have done that. and ordinarily, I would do it that way, except that I'm honest, I didn't think about it. It's like we had just moved over here, and there's not a lot of. I mean, I didn't want to just be walking just for no reason, but it makes sense. I can walk across the street and then come back. And, like, how does this work?
Yeah.
But I think I actually thought of the idea like on the way. Well, I remembered I didn't have the app installed at all. So I downloaded the app as I was leaving the house, and I went through a setup and like, okay, well, it'll be ready when I get here. And I was like, oh, I figured out how to add markers, and all right, we're good. And then I went back and was like, man, this doesn't work at all. I really should probably spend some time actually in a known, you said, in a known environment using it so I understand what it's trying to communicate to me and how it's trying to communicate it before I'm just like, oh, the building's over there. No, you passed it already. No, now it's behind us. I don't know which side of the street it is. I'll just know it's behind us. Turn around. Okay, now it's in front of us.
It's in front of us somewhere. Can't you see it there?
Right, which is pretty much all I was trying to do. Was like, okay, we're in the vicinity. You should be able to find the building. And that did not go well. So we'll see how precise it can be. And probably would also help if I actually walk to the building and set markers. As opposed to being on the road.
Yeah.
Or being in the parking lot of said building, because I'm like, hey, we get close enough, then the person driving should be able to find it, right?
Yeah, that does not always
reasonable. Reasonable, I thought.
Yeah. So I have one more
So,
topic. Go ahead. What do you got
oh,
first?
go ahead.
Oh, mine's just so Monday I will have fiber internet. Intrigued to see how this goes. 1 gig down by 1 gig up for $50 a month. And the first month free, so we can actually experiment with it. Doug told me I need to go get a Dream Machine. And I think he actually wanted me to get the Dream Machine Pro or something. And he said that the nice thing about that is I can take out one of the bottlenecks, which really isn't a bottleneck, but you can apparently, and you may have told me this, connect the Dream Machine directly to the fiber connection, and you don't have to run through Ethernet and use any sort of boxes or anything to connect it.
So that depends on whether or not you have a asshole of a internet provider or not.
Okay.
You probably will be able to do it, which is a thing you can do. You can run your fiber straight to the router, so you don't have to have a modem in the middle.
Right.
I could not do this without a whole bunch of hackery and something that was going to break because I had AT&T for my fiber.
I do remember you talking about that. Like there was some Reddit forums where people were like, well, you could do this. And you're like, yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah. I mean, buy a old used fiber modem from AT&T and then connect to it and do this and get their certificate out and then apply it to your thing. And then it was like, yeah, so that's going to break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into setting up stuff that I know is going to be fragile and break.
Especially when it comes to internet, because it's going to break when you need it.
Right. It's going to break at the worst possible time.
That's like hacking your electricity.
They'll plug their modem in and try to get it back online real quick. And they're like, oh, yeah, we don't even remember this modem now. We got to reprovision you. It's like, but I'm supposed to be on double tap right now.
And it'll take us 24 hours to reprovision you.
It's like, or it's going to take 30 minutes. It's like, but the show's only, but I was going to be on double tap. Oh, man. Now I'm calling in like a correspondent in the field in the 80s. So, I'm reporting live. Well, we have Damashe here with us. Yeah. So how's it going, guys? So, GPT has really been amazing. I've been using it to do, these different. But yes, man, you should get the. Look it up, and I don't know if Doug said it is probably true. I just never looked at it.
I'm not looking anything else up again while I talk to you.
There is some reason that I personally skipped over the Pro and went to the SE when I was shopping for my Ubiquity gear. So I don't know for certain that the Pro has that, I think it's called the SFP port, or I think it's SFP because SPF is an email thing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So what we're going to do though is we're going to just get the regular install. I'm going to keep Spectrum for a little bit, see how reliable this service is. And unless they want to pay us to mention them on the show, I'm not going to mention their actual name, but I think will be good. I like that.
There you go.
I think it'll be good. Hopefully I don't care about the download speed. Honestly, it's whatever nowadays, but the upload speed is what has me really intrigued.
So one advantage that you're going to find too, though, even though the download, because like you, I care more about the upload speed because there's always such a disparity between what I can get for download and what uploads are going to be. Like I still don't have 100 up right now. Like it's terrible. I hate it. But one advantage is you also actually have more bandwidth on fiber. So even if it's not a speed thing because your current speed is fine for what everybody's doing, it should be less buffering in Netflix while Benjamin and Nicholas are both, playing some video game or something.
Playing VR, because VR sucks up your bandwidth, man. Just saying. And I think the video quality for everyone else, though it doesn't impact me, is going to probably be better because you have more bandwidth. And it's going to be a fresh install. Like Thursday, we're doing drop lines to our house and our neighbor's house. So it's all new wiring too, which has me excited because hopefully that means there'll be less issues. Hopefully, crossing fingers.
I would say at this point, people have pretty good experience laying fiber. Remember first experience I had with a place that got new fiber, um, I told the person that got the fiber that you're going to have problems because they did this a little too fast.
Ah,
And it was the first time, like, this was 2011-ish,
yeah,
2011, 2012-ish, right? So it was just years ago,
yeah.
and which is why the whole concern was like they did this too fast. Nobody's ever had fiber out here, period. And they're laying fiber now, and they've just hooked up you, that person over there, and somebody else in this neighborhood, and they did it all in one day. Like, nope, you're going to have problems. And they had problems. They had all kinds of problems. But at this point, like when they came out and did my fiber, like they did have to run fiber, for a certain distance from the pole or whatever. But they got that done in a day. It didn't take long, and everything worked fine. But we're 10 years later in this in this being done now, right? And a lot of that infrastructure was already there. They just had to extend it to my home. I'm still waiting on fiber to come back around, because I'm so my Spectrum, because I've already said Spectrum on the show enough, and plus I'm going to talk bad about them. So, they're a little better than what I remember having with Xfinity, the old place. But I still get reports from the router that tell me, oh, there's your Spectrum internet is experiencing packet loss. What? Why? Or your Spectrum has been restored. It was down for a little bit. And I can go into the Unify app and try to get more details about it. But just the notification alone lets me know, like, okay, you're having weird problems right now.
Yep.
I don't understand why you are, and you shouldn't be. This is a new installation. What is the problem? It's an old wire that's been sitting around forever over here. Like, this is all new. But generally speaking, I'm happier with it, and I think I would have. Well, I didn't even get a chance to use Xfinity out here at all because it never worked. So still waiting on the fiber. There was something I was going to mention to you about the Dream Machine. You could, and you're probably not going to buy one now because it really wouldn't make sense to buy one now unless you decide you're going to keep the fiber. And by the time you decide you're going to keep the fiber and upgrade to a Dream Machine Pro or SE, you won't have Spectrum anymore. But you could also set up failover internet with the Ubiquity router or the Dream Machines.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I've thought about doing, I just hadn't found a service cheap enough to do it, is like using an old Android Android, because an iPhone, only iPhone that has USB-C is the 15 Pro Max, and that's the phone I'm using. But getting a fairly inexpensive data plan on the iPhone or the Android phone and using a USB-C to Ethernet cable to plug into the second WAN port on the Dream Machine and have that be a failover just in case the internet goes down. I at least have some service, and then use, maybe some intelligent, filtering rules or something, like use some filtering rules to say, yeah, so block all this crap if that happens.
Yep. No more Netflix while this happens because it's just the essential.
But my camera streams will still work, and I'll still be able to see them from outside the house in case this happens when I'm not home.
Yeah. But you need to figure out a way. I guess wireless charging could keep the Android phone charged. Yeah.
That's a potential. That is a concern, as well as, like, would it actually work? So
you could call Spectrum and be like, can you disconnect my internet for a minute? I got to do some tests.
I mean, I could disconnect it easily enough. Just take the cable out. Like, you're done. I do wish that I could just run straight off the wire into the Ubiquity Dream Machine.
Ubiquity. Why can't you put a coax cable in there?
Well, see, I should look and see right now, because I don't think I've ever actually thought to ask that question. Going to our friend. Is there a, what did I tell you this thing was called? SFP. No, don't autocorrect me. I know what I'm typing. I wonder what it autocorrected to. SFP to, I don't know what that is either. Coax for the Dream Machine SE. Oh, wait. Command Enter is how you send your prompt. There we go. So we've been talking a lot about AI, but I'm going to talk about it some more because I've been using GPT to do a lot more research. And I've kind of talked about it in the past, but one thing that I've been doing is as I'm learning about new things. So here's the example. I was looking for particular types of locks. Different. I actually have been doing a lot of looking at locks because I have locks on the doors now that can all be rekeyed to use the same key, even though they're radically different. The front door has a smart lock on it. The garage entrance door that goes into the house has a standard deadbolt on the outside and the Akara lock on the inside. I have well, there's a deadbolt lock on the office door, but I'm just using that doorknob. But I've been thinking about my bank bags, for example, because like what I will do now, because I'm dealing with a community-based bank, is I will take my bank bag. I left a key up there with the bank officers. We'll take my bank bag up there after I've counted my money, because we'll see who's being honest and who's not. I'll take the bank bag up there and just drop it off instead of sitting around, because they're going to take it back there and run it through their money counter anyway. Which means I'm just sitting there while they're doing that.
Yep.
There's nothing else for me to do. So I'll just go drop the bag off and it's locked. So, if you don't work for the bank, you shouldn't be able to easily get into it. I mean, nothing stopping you from yanking the bag out of the bank and running away, but it ain't worth all that. So I was thinking about, I got like 2 or 3 of these bags with keys. Like, what if I could get them all rekeyed? Well, it turns out the type of bags I currently have can't be rekeyed. But a locksmith was like, yeah, do some looking on the internet, but they do have some that can be keyed to use the same key. I was like, all right, cool. So I started researching that with GPT, and I asked it, and it gave me some options and a couple of company names and some lock types I hadn't heard of. And I was like, educate me about this. And then we just get into the whole conversation of back and forth, like, okay, that makes sense. Can you tell me about this part of that or this aspect of that? Again, this is something, and the reason I'm bringing this up again, because we have had talked about the ways we're using GPT differently now, is because it still surprises me how little I go to DuckDuckGo to search for something nowadays.
Yeah.
Like I will think, oh, I need to go look up and see, if they have this kind of product or that thing or where to buy one of these. And then I'll go, no, let me go ask GPT how to do this first. And then we'll go to the web.
Yep. And if you ask GPT, show me where you got that information from, guess what? It'll show you where it got that information from. So I was using Google for fact checking, but now I can just get the information that it got and link to that, or you can ask it link to where you got that information from, and it'll give you those reference links as well, if it doesn't do it automatically based on your inquiry. Back in December, Kelly it was actually Ramya and Nazreen were doing a top Googled questions of 2024. And we were talking, and I mentioned on there, I'm like, yeah, I bet some of the reasons you didn't find topics that you were expecting on Googled questions in 2024 is because you need to find a top chat GPT questions of 2024, because people weren't using Google like they had in the past. They were probably using AI to get the answers. And I don't know if they ever found one. I never looked for one, but that would be interesting. What are the top 20 questions asked to GPT or other AIs?
Hold on. I gotta ask you a question. There's not a SFP to coax because it's a very niche market and people just tend to use a modem. So there's only fiber and Ethernet SFP modules.
Well, I just asked GPT about SFP to coax, and my GPT says there is an adapter.
Ask it, is it sure?
I'm going to ask it.
Because mine gave me a pretty good reason why there is not one.
It's funny how GPT doesn't.
Save that chat. Like, so we're going to make some bonus content for the tip jar subscribers. We'll put the GPTs in voice mode, and especially if yours insists that there is one that exists, like just stop right there. And we will put the put them in voice mode and pipe them in so mine can hear yours and yours can hear mine later. Like, we won't do it now. We'll do it later in the week. And then, like, I'll make mine read aloud, and then yours will be like, well, no. That could be interesting.
That could be interesting. I just sent you the response that mine gave me. So you should copy that response into your GPT.
Hold on. Okay. So GPT says that will work in theory, but I should actually do something different. I haven't read the whole thing.
Well, on that note, I think we've been about 90-ish minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go look for this device and see what it is.
You should ask your GPT why it didn't mention it. My co-host GPT gave him this response. Are you really doing your research?
Are you really GPT, or are you just mad?
Or is his co-host, or is his GPT making stuff up?
Or is it because I'm using Mac GPT?
Ooh, maybe because you're not caressing it on chat.com.
That could be it. Although I am using the web interface mode, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a long, rambly show.
I thought we were going to stay organized for a little bit.
This has been a very long, rambly show. But this has also been one of those kind of long, rambly, all over the day kind of days for me too. So first and foremost, we want to thank everybody who listens. We appreciate every last one of you for listening, because time is limited. And the fact that you choose to spend an hour to an hour and a half listening to us is amazing.
Agreed.
Appreciate it. Special thanks to our tip jar supporters, because just like time, money is, a dwindling resource. So the fact that you spend some with us is, again, very much appreciated. And as you see, it's just allowed Michael to go purchase something
that I don't quite know.
We don't know what it's going to really be until we get it, but we'll talk to you about it, because it does have some good implications productivity wise, potentially. So it is an interesting device. It's the reason that we have been looking into things like the Meta Ray-Bans and other, possibly will ship at some point in the future glasses also.
You don't even remember the name of the glasses you ordered, do
Yeah,
you?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I just was trying to figure out a nice way to say that they're, vaporware.
I have faith in them.
I think they'll get them out only because I don't personally know, but I know of the fact that some people have tested these and they have put their hands on them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Probably around CSUN is when we'll hear more.
I'm just expecting, I don't know. Maybe the pre-sales. Anyway, we were closing the show. So we will be following up for sure about the BAI, including whether or not I buy one in the interim between now and next week's show. Because I'm very interested in things that help me.
I'm going to go listen to Twig so I know what I just bought.
We will have a bit of special content, some inside information next week as well about a few other things that Mike doesn't even know about yet, because I didn't write show notes this week or add stuff to a document. But thanks everybody for listening. We truly appreciate it. You can follow us on social media. Actually, you can follow us on Mastodon, because social media seems too broad. So
yeah, and I have a Blue Skies account, but I ain't using that. So Mastodon
goes set up Blue Sky. The only reason I haven't is because apparently there's a way for you to use your own domain as a part of your username or something. And I insist that if I'm going to go somewhere where they use Skeet routinely to describe what they're doing over there, I should have my own domain. I don't want to end up, because I'm coming in so late, at bskeet.something or b.skeet.
No, Skeet is the app. Your username would be at bsky.social.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah. Anyways, social media, Mastodon.
What is your Blue Sky?
Shit, we're not recording. Oh. We are.
Oh. Oh, he got me. Yeah. And I didn't do a backup recording either, man. I was like, wait a minute, don't what? I mean, we may have done better the second time around, but geez, Mike, really? All right. You can follow him on Mastodon. He is Payon, Payown, at dragonscave.space. That's DRAGONSCAVE.space. I am Damashe, Damashe, at technically.social. That's it. It's like bluesky.social, but it's technically.
Yeah, technically not social.
And I did it first. I had that. No, I didn't. I'm lying.
You can also use hashtag technically working with a capital T and a capital W and email feedback
at technicallyworking.show. Shout out to well, I'm not sure how new this listener is, and I don't have your name in front of me. I'm also not certain I have permission to use your name anyway. But a listener emailed us with several emails, and I'm going to pass along to Mike, and we will discuss them and at least respond where we can to your comments, even if we don't mention your name, because again, we're more about privacy than just yelling out people's names. Like, hey, Tim Cook sent us an email and he said he liked the show. Like, we would never do that because
nope.
You know, unless Tim was like, hey, you can tell people that I said I like your show.
Yeah, and if he does, then trust us, we'll let you know.
But he didn't give us permission to tell you that he liked the show, so we won't.